YouTube, how's it going? We're back with some more NFL draft coverage. We got a fun video for you guys today. Basically, for all these 5 first-round quarterbacks you see on your screen, I have 2 comparisons for each one. It's mainly just the worst they can be, maybe their floor, you could say, or their ceiling, the best they can compare to. And you guys at home, when you're watching, you can guess which quarterback we're discussing. But my partner here, Junior, he's gonna say which one he'd rather have. He doesn't know who the quarterback is, but he's gonna basically pick which comparison you'd rather have, and we're gonna find out who his quarterback is. He doesn't even know.
So it's like a matchmaker.
It's a It's a matchmaker.
It's like online dating.
Online dating. Which quarterback
am I gonna date?
You gonna date? So the first one is Jake Locker is the guy's floor.
Oh, boy.
Ben Roethlisberger is his ceiling. Maybe pretty obvious to some of you who this might be, but take that in. I want you to take that in.
Soaking it.
You're soaking it in. And then here is your next guy. This prospect has a floor of Colt McCoy and a ceiling of Russell. This one's kind of obvious, too. Russell Wilson. So out of those 2, which quarterback would you rather have? I know, obviously.
I think I'm taking this one that's on the board.
This one, obviously, this is not how you pick a quarterback. It's a little fun thing to do. But so you're taking this one.
Yeah.
So back to the Jake Locker, Ben Roethlisberger. Since you removed it, we're gonna review who the quarterback prospect is, and see if any of you at home got it before I reveal it. It's pretty obvious, but it's gonna be Josh Allen. So you're removing Josh Allen off the board already.
Sorry, Josh.
So we'll take those guys off. We'll bring this back up because you chose that. Colt McCoy, Russell Wilson. Reveal the next one. It's a Blaine Gabbert floor, and it's a Phillip Rivers ceiling.
Yikes. I'm going to take the first one. My original.
You still want your original? So
yeah.
You're removing this one. I think this one's a pretty good one. This one, we're going to reveal it. Hope you guys can guess it. It is Sam Darnold. I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan, but I do see some Phillip Rivers in him, which is interesting because I like Phillip Rivers a lot, but Darnold's really decision-making.
I think he's a little more mobile.
Weighs it down. So I do see that the upside here is I do see some Phillip Rivers and Sam Darnold, but so we can remove.
God, I'm scared of. Oh boy.
All right, the next one.
It's a lot of pressure.
Vince Young's your floor.
Random, I know who this is. I know who this is.
It's pretty obvious. I could have made it more obvious. I had to think outside the box here. So
you were going to do Michael Vick.
I was going to do Michael Vick, but it's just a little obvious, but it's still obvious.
I'm a good Vick fan. Let me tell you, I love that guy. But I think I'm going to stick with my original.
You stick with original?
I think I know who it is.
You know who this is?
No, I know who this is, but I also think I know who my pick is.
All right, so who's this?
I think this is Lamar Jackson.
It is Lamar Jackson. So you remove Action Jackson. Obviously, we could have went with a better comparison with Michael Vick. Vince Young really isn't – you can't compare him as much as the other guys can compare their prospect. It's hard to compare a guy to Lamar Jackson. Nobody's really been a Lamar Jackson. Even in college, Lamar Jackson was a better college player than Michael Vick. So the way he throws is why I put Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham could run. Lamar Jackson ran a lot more, but the way he throws, I compare to Cunningham. So I like that one. Maybe an all-time great Eagle and Viking.
I think if you put Vic up there, I was taking him. I was taking this comparison.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to throw people off a little bit, but I don't know if I did a good job. So with one more left, we still got this one up here, but it's pretty obvious the last one is because we already revealed the other ones. But we didn't reveal this one. But so it's either Colt McCoy, Russell Wilson, or Jay Cutler, Eli Manning.
Oh, boy.
It's a tough one.
I like how Jay's not in uniform here.
Yeah. I mean, he's in uniform. I just had to get that face in there, that Jay Cutler face.
She got Smoking Jay.
Smoking Jay. I didn't want to be too disrespectful.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I can't take this one. I'm sorry.
You can't take this one?
As a Bears fan, I can't take Jay.
But Jay is, he's better than Colt
I like
McCoy.
Denver Jay. I like Denver Jay.
He's better than Colt McCoy. You can make the case for that. And then Eli's won some Super Bowls. I know Russell Wilson has.
This is just a tough one because
I think you picked the right 2 to end it. Not in terms of who the prospect is, really, but in terms of the comparisons.
I'm guessing he's a hybrid of these 2 players because Cutler, in his day, was a little more mobile than Eli. Actually, a lot more mobile than Eli.
Interesting is the Eli Manning, what team he's on and who the prospect is.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're really getting me thinking here. I think I know who this is as well.
So which one are you choosing? You're choosing the other one?
I'm going to stick with my gut. My gut's telling me my original pick.
So this one is Josh Rosen, why I said it was interesting. He can end up he's projected to end up on the Giants most likely, but never know. And then Eli's there. People compare him to Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's going to be as good as he worked with Aaron Rodgers too, but I don't think he's going to be as good as Aaron.
I don't think more Aaron than Eli in him.
Yeah, but
because he's more mobile than Eli.
Rodgers is much more mobile than Rosen. When Rosen's getting the difference is Rosen's big weakness for me is when he's getting rushed. Rodgers is very, very good when he's getting rushed
because it's his footwork. It's insane.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider Aaron
athletic.
Rodgers quick. Wouldn't consider him fast. His footwork is flawless, and his decision making is flawless, and how he moves in the pocket and out of the pocket is flawless. It's unreal.
But I mean, the one thing you can point out is that the best floor here, I think, has been Jay Cutler compared to Colt McCoy, all the other ones. Yeah. Like he's better than those guys, even though he got the picture that makes it look worse than it is. He's better than these guys. Eli Manning maybe not be playing too well now, but he's been an all-time great. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He's
beat Tom Brady.
So who'd you choose?
I think I know.
It's pretty obvious. You chose Baker Mayfield.
That's
your guy.
I have been on the record saying he's my number 1 quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we did the same thing on maybe it's not all about comparisons. Obviously, not even close. It's not all about statistics. But if we could have done a blind resume on statistics, I promise you would end up choosing anybody would end up choosing Baker Mayfield as well. So that's interesting.
I like me a mobile quarterback. I like me an accurate quarterback, and I like a guy who's a winner,
confident.
It's his confidence. It's
really, the only downside is maybe transition from his. All quarterbacks have to go through a transition, but that and maybe that he's 6 foot, but bring it back to Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers isn't that tall.
Like we like to talk about, this is a quarterback that I think if the system and the offense is built around him, is going to be the transition is going to be way more smooth.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson last year. The reason that people didn't have him number 1 quarterback is because the transition was going to be too tough. But it doesn't matter. The guys that are in a familiar style still have to learn stuff. It's really about how smart they are.
And he had the weapons to help him adjust even faster than the other 2 quarterbacks.
Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, they were winners. Watson maybe a little more of a winner than Mayfield. But there's more to it than just where they came from. Way more to it.
Mm-hmm.
So people get confused by that a little bit. But what I want you guys to do that are watching is comment. I don't really want you to comment who your best quarterback is. Maybe your best quarterback in the draft is Baker Mayfield, but looking at the comparisons, you like Josh Rosen better. So let me know who you ended up choosing based off their comparisons. So be honest here. Did you get fooled?
Lying.
Did you get fooled by any of these two? Maybe I think they were pretty easy. I tried to switch it up a little bit, but I didn't want to get a ridiculous comparison going.
You did Randall Cunningham.
I like the throwing of Cunningham and Jackson. I see comparisons. I mean, people are gonna. Cunningham was a much better thrower, but Jackson didn't play yet. So I mean, he does have a pretty good arm, but people knock Jackson because his completion percentage, and usually that's a stat that I use because it kind of stays the same. But he had a lot of drops, a lot of poor routes, a lot of miscommunications that I think I would put on the offense really. So adjusted completion percentage is much higher. I give him a little bit of a pass on that, but I think by these comparisons, I think I would have ended up choosing. I am a big Russell Wilson fan. It would have either been I made these comparisons, so it's hard for me to say, but it would have either been Baker Mayfield or the Jay Cutler, Eli Manning, which was Josh Rosen. Even though, and then like I said with Sam Darnold, I'm not a huge fan of Sam Darnold, but after I made these comparisons, I'm like, man, I'm starting to see some Phillip Rivers, who I really like. I've always liked Phillip Rivers. So I thought that was a little interesting. He could be Phillip Rivers. He could be that caliber, same style quarterback, very similar style quarterback, and I see some similarities.
Some hip throws. Literally throws it from the hip.
He doesn't do it quite like that, but
no, he can throw from a lot of different positions.
Yeah,
I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah,
how no matter.
I mean, there's so many scouts and teams that just would look at it, how he throws it, and just scratches them right off their board. It's
like
pretty.
But it's like, to me, that's impressive. His arm slot, no matter what arm slot he's in, he just makes.
Same with Baker Mayfield. There's out of 32 NFL teams, even if they don't need quarterbacks, all the teams do their homework on the quarterbacks. And there's teams that scratch him off the board because he's 6 feet tall. It's bad. It's terrible. But there's teams that do that. Maybe there's not as many as there would be like 10 years ago. Maybe that was more of a thing back then. But Baker was your guy.
Yeah,
he was your guy. There he is.
Should bring him, give him, maybe DM him, see if he wants to go on this date.
Oh yeah, he's your match.
Wow.
Let him know. Hopefully he messages you
back.
back.
Not that much taller than me. Wow.
Well, that'll do it for this one. Let us know what you let us know your thoughts in the comments. We got plenty of other draft coverage videos to come, and there's plenty on the channel, so check those out. That'll do it for this one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.